Okay, here's a hypothetical. Let's say that there's an isekai scenario, and you find yourself transported into the wacky, wonderful world of Look Outside. Specifically, into the apartment building that the game takes place in. What do you do? My idea for this video is to take a look at each area and Look Outside, and try to determine how long a normal person like me could survive in each one. Sam's whole appeal might be that he's an ordinary, no-name, unemployed loner, but you have to admit, the guy's a survivor. He goes through hell on earth and can get shot and bitten and stabbed repeatedly, but if he just eats some Baki or cheese sticks, he'll be fine. This idea came from those videos on YouTube that are like, how many stars could an ordinary person get in Mario, or how many tracks could a normal car beat in Mario Kart? If an ordinary person like me, who didn't have plot armor, got stuck in Look Outside, which areas could I feasibly survive in? Now everyone's favorite part of a YouTube video, the rules. Rule 1. When I say area in the game, I'm mainly doing it based on themed areas. A lot of areas on each floor have themes to their enemies that make it easier to distinguish, and in general, each apartment will be counted as its own area. I'm not going to count floors in general as areas or anything like that, since those are kind of more like hubs between the different areas. Rule 2. When I consider if someone could survive in an area, that means if they could survive without getting killed or becoming cursed. With those rules out of the way, here are the categories I'll be sorting each area into. The best category would be areas where you could easily survive for 15 days. The second best is areas where you could survive the 15 days, but it would be rough. Survival would be possible, but you'd have to either avoid cursed or would have to make some sacrifices in order to survive. The middle category is areas where you'd be able to survive a few days. These are areas where you'd either have to vacate after a few days due to the danger, or where you'd have to fight a significant amount of cursed. The fourth category is areas where you could survive for an hour tops. These are areas that are not really sustainable if you're trying to survive and only staying in one place. And the last category is places where you will pretty much die instantly or die in a few seconds if you were to go in there. Okay, let's start the list with Floor 3. Floor 3 is the easiest place to break down into different areas since each one's self-contained in a single apartment. So first is Sam's apartment. It is the safest area in the game, and the song that plays is literally called Safe Place. It's so safe that one of the endings in the game just consists of you staying in the apartment and doing nothing. You have running water, video games, and just an obscene amount of square footage. I don't know how Sam was affording this place on a convenience store worker budget. Plus, you might even get some random people showing up at the door who want to move in with you. What more could you want? The only real downside I can think of is that you have Spine trying to grope you all the time, but small price to pay for safety during the apocalypse. I could easily last 15 days in here. Next is the Wounded Neighbor's apartment, apartment 36, or as I call it, the intro apartment. It's not as nice as Sam's apartment. It does have a giant chasm in the floor, but think of it this way, it's not a safety hazard, it's a scenic hazard, good for airflow. And once you kill the wounded neighbor, which wouldn't be too hard, he is wounded after all, you would pretty much have the place to yourself. An onlooker might wander in from time to time, but like, if you just barricaded the door, you'd probably be okay. I think I could last 15 days in here. Vincent's apartment is next. It's a bit more crowded in here, but pretty similar to the previous apartment. The onlookers aren't too hard to kill anyways. The first time I played the game, I didn't even fight Vincent, since he stays at the top of the living room out of your way. Plus, you have a guinea pig to keep you company, and a slide viewer to play with. I could def survive in here if I spent a bit of time clearing out the party people. The only issue I rarely see is the bathroom. Sorry if this is TMI, but one fact you should know about me is that I chug water like non-stop, and as a result, I go to the bathroom a lot, like 50 million times a day. I bring it up because Vincent has an onlooker in his bathroom, and if you don't kill this onlooker quickly, it'll get way scarier. And like, you could purposely try not to use the bathroom for the 15 days, but not going to the bathroom for 2 weeks is bad news. And then if you did try to quickly go in and use the bathroom, the Eternal Eye would be watching you with like 12 eyes, and it would just be a whole ordeal. What was I saying? Oh right, yeah, I could definitely survive in this place. Next is the Tooth apartment. Yeah, this one would be hard to live in. First off, you'd have to push past Clint every time you want to come and go, and make awkward small talk with him. Then there's all these kids you'd have to share the space with. I already don't know what to talk about when I have to make small talk to adults, but I know even less what to talk to kids about. Like, what do I even say? So, do you remember being born? That sucks. My lack of relatability to kids would make it hard for Joel to join my party because of that. But I guess if Joel were to start mutating more and getting more aggressive, I could just kill him. What? Why are you booing me? I'm right. Is this a bad time to also remind you to like and subscribe and hit that bell? Also, after a few days, the entire apartment would slowly turn into tooth hell, which is a big no-no. And the biggest issue, there's also the baby. Imagine trying to get sleep in this place while the baby is crawling around in the floorboards under you. No thank you. I can think of only one benefit of living at this place. Free breastfeeding. Yeah, I'd actually pass on this place. I would last in here an hour tops before I'd have to bail. The frozen apartment? I don't know. The enemies in here aren't too bad since they're mostly clothes themed. I feel like I could befriend one of these little toque guys and we could be friends. But I hate being cold in general. I would say I could last a few days in here before I would either die of hypothermia or die when my toque friend decides to kill me in my sleep. The taxidermy apartment. Yeah, that's a hard pass from me. Taxidermy in real life already kind of freaks me out, but if that frickin' scary suture wire thing was hanging around, I would never be able to relax. Plus, if I ever need to go to the kitchen, I'd have to fight this guy, and if I have to go to the bathroom, I'd have to fight this guy. Not to mention there's an entire alternate dimension made of flesh in the apartment. Not that dimension, this one. Yeah, I'm good. I'd last here an hour tops before I'd get scared and bail, or until one of the freaks came and killed me. I don't know what to call this apartment, but Louis, Charlie, Kaylee, and Pierre's apartment would be pretty decent. Louis could help me get groceries hypothetically, but as soon as he started crawling out of the suit, I'd be done for. Kaylee's pretty chill, and I don't have coulrophobia, so I would be fine hanging out with Pierre too. But I do have triphobia, so I would have to avoid Charlie like the plague. These 4 guys are all cursed, but they seem to have some unspoken truce where none of the 4 of them interact with each other. Pierre's biggest priority is helping desensitize Sam to clowns. Meanwhile, his roommates are literally dying in the other rooms. I mean, they're literally dying because I'm the one killing them, but I digress. It would really just be me and Pierre hanging out all day. I wonder what kind of shows he watches.
What the fuck? I'm not even supposed to be here. I hope I don't jack off.
Yes, I could see myself being very happy here. Next is Edwin's apartment. Okay, hear me out. As long as you keep the lights on, you'll be fine, right? I mean, this place has a bedroom, a bathroom, a kitchen, a little observatory to hang out in. As long as you just ignore the fact that this thing is on top of you at all times and is constantly following you, you'll be fine, right? Just don't touch the light switch, like ever, and you'll be right as rain. I could live here, but it would be rough. I would probably be a moron anyways and be like, I can't see the TV screen, it's too bright in here, I'll just turn off the lights. And then bam, I'm turned into stretch face like times 10. By the way, I didn't forget about Glitch World, I'm just saving it to cover with the other mask-related ending areas, if I do make another video. Also, I have to address something from my last video involving Stargazer. I am deeply... Wait, sorry, let me do a sigh first. Guys, I am deeply, deeply sorry I used the word antithesis without knowing what it meant.
The Stargazer, to me, is the antithesis of Look Outside.
I meant to say epitome, not antithesis. I'm sorry I used a big word without knowing what it meant. I just had to spell it out. Antithesis. It's just opposite thesis. It's so obvious. Please forgive me. And lastly is Sybil's apartment. I definitely could live here, but I don't think I would, you know. I could not live with a roommate who doesn't keep their place clean. Sybil does nothing but stay in her apartment all day, and even then she can't find the time to clean it. If Sybil spent less time shoving her fat, enormous eye in the cracks in the wall, she could spend more time cleaning. But to be honest, the rest of the apartment is way worse than this one, so you have to take what you can get. I could live here. And worst case, if she did decide to assimilate me, I could become her, what's another organ? Her spleen, I don't know. Overall, not too bad. It mainly comes down to floor 3 having a lot of pretty empty apartments, like apartments that have weak enemies. So let's move on to floor 2 and see how that fares. Floor 2's hallway has the best lighting, that's one thing going for it. Every other floor has really dark lighting. So the main problem with living on floor 2 is Lee, because she would 100% kill a normal person if you met her as the Grinning Beast, and she would also probably kill you even if she wasn't in beast mode when you met her. So I'm just knocking her apartment off the list and saying you would die in 5 seconds if you were to try to live there with her. Plus her apartment has a giant chasm anyways. Okay, next is Lyle's apartment. This apartment seems nice, but there's a lot going on, so let's do a pros and cons list. Pro. I love Lyle, he's one of my favorite party members. Con. I hate Lyle, he's a stalker and he steals people's souls. Pro. Free beef growing on the wall, that's pretty nice. Con. If you have to go to the bathroom, you'd have to go past iCluster, and he's nasty. Pro. If you get really bored, you could go and talk to Rafta. Con. If you talk to Rafta and you're attractive, like me, you'll die. Looks like it's a 50-50 split. Despite that, you could probably get Lyle to help you fight the iCluster and Tumor Head, and then the apartment would be pretty safe. I'll say you could easily survive here, assuming Lyle wouldn't try to steal your soul. Eugene's apartment/store. This guy's nice, but I don't think he'd be looking for roommates, you know? He does have a massive place, but this guy's a vendor first and foremost. So, because of that, I'll say I could last here an hour tops before he'd kick me out or shoot me to get me to leave. Besides, the last time someone came to his apartment looking to move in with him, it didn't go very well. Jeanne. Jean's apartment. I've been calling her Jean this whole time, but I think it's actually pronounced Jen. So, anyway, Jen's apartment. Boy, I wonder how trying to live here would go. I'm sure that would go so well for me. Jen may be nice, but it's only a matter of time until the other Hydra heads grow and start eating you. And you'd be so screwed fighting all the heads alone. I guess you could kill the body, but I would feel so bad if I did. Like, I know I said earlier I would kill Joel, but like, I like Jen way more than Joel. Like, way, way more. Like, not even close. It would be way harder to kill her. I would say you could hang out here a few days before Jen starts getting worse, and then you'd have to bail. Harriet and Sophie's apartment is next. I'll be honest, I've had the worst luck with door encounters whenever I play Look Outside, and because of that, I've never seen Dan's or Sophie's apartments. I have had Dan show up before, but it was during my first playthrough and I turned him away, not knowing he was recruitable. And I haven't even seen Zarya and Monty a single time, at least not when they were with Guillaume. So I'm going to go off of footage from other people and the wiki for both of these apartments since I haven't seen either of them myself in gameplay. Harriet's apartment seems nice though. No giant chasms, normal amount of light, a bathroom and kitchen, no complaints here. I'd really only be able to get in if I found Sophie though, since the apartment is locked otherwise. Also, I'd have to assume no Hydra head would be growing off of the tentacles from Jen, but otherwise I could easily survive here. Dan's apartment. Dan's apartment has a big issue, and that's Dan's mom. I'll pass. Plus, the only thing on TV is Dan's stream, which, come to think of it, would actually be fun to watch. But I feel like it would only be an hour tops before Bernadette would try to kill me, so it's gonna go pretty low on the list because of that. Let's see, what's next? The underwater apartment? No way. I don't have Sam's superhuman lungs, so having to fight drowning every 30 seconds would suck when I run out of oxygen. I would die in 5 seconds if I was trying to live here. Beautiful place though, I think it's the prettiest area in the game. It seems like the new update also changed parts of the shark and the shrimp knight fights, which is cool. They didn't really feel like proper bosses to me before, just large enemies. Last on floor 2 is the writer's apartment. I think I could vibe in here if I just steered clear of the typewriter. I guess it comes down to interpretation of how realistic this scenario is and whether or not the cursed would roam around the room. But if this guy just sticks to his half of the room and I stick to mine, we could get along. We could draw a line dividing the place. He would get the TV and the fridge in that divide, but I at least get the bathroom. I could survive here, but it would be rough. Plus, if he did ever fight me, I could write 2. 2 can play at that game.
The hunter had come face to face with his greatest fear. Ahead of them, the most dangerous of beasts, the many-headed Hydra. The hunter knew it was time to strike. He readied his bow and aimed for one of the heads.
Well, I say actually the hunter looked down and realized he had stupidly forgotten to load his bow, so he forfeits his turn.
The hunter waited for the beast to sleep to strike.
And while the Hydra was falling asleep, the hunter decided it was his turn to go empty the trash in the kitchen.
The hunter readied a devious trap that would neutralize one of the beast's snarling heads.
But then the hunter realized that he was actually in love with the Hydra, and instead of fighting, they decided to go watch the Hydra's favorite show on TV, which was The Boys Season 5. Floor 2 is a lot more dangerous than Floor 3, but I have a feeling it will get worse. That's gonna end the video for now. If you liked the video, let me know if you would like more in this series. And if you didn't like the video, I'm surprised you watched till the end, but I appreciate it either way. Bye.